What the fuck? Hello, everyone. Today, Hannah and I are going to try and beat ARK Fjördur on alpha difficulty. Except we're only allowed to use one dino, the Andrewsarchus. It will be buggy, it will be frustrating, and yes, something will go terribly wrong. So get comfortable, because here we go. Starting off day 1, we made our characters. Once we were in, obviously you can expect that we got completely owned by some dinos around the map. After running around, finding some resources, getting killed again, we finally found each other.
Now tell me I'm pretty.
You're very pretty. And then, of course, we had to make a tribe. Well, here.
Wait, are you gonna invite me to your tribe?
No, you always get mad at me saying that I'm the one that takes the tribe, and it's always my tribe, blah, blah, blah.
Well, then stop moving.
Have you named your tribe yet?
No.
I accept into tribe of not Ben. Now that all that tribe shenanigans was taken care of, we started looking around the beach that we spawned at. All right, so I see some shipwreck stuff right here. Wouldn't it be cool if these had drops of like, hey, there's some hide or something you can get from those drops? Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, are you sure you can't?
No.
Okay.
Or yes.
Okay. Oh, I just got a primitive hatchet. A primitive metal hatchet.
Oh my god! And yes, of course I did feel silly after this, but I got some good loot, so it was alright. The top of our priorities was to make a base so that we could respawn somewhere, and in order to do that you needed hide, but the main issue in the beginning of the game is you can't really hold anything down unless you use boas. A lot of the early game was actually just trapping a bunch of parasaurs and killing them for the hide.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
You see, if we could have tamed another dino in the early game, we wouldn't have had this issue. But because we couldn't, we had to get our hands a little bit dirty and do it the old-fashioned way.
Have you been upping your melee damage?
I have. Thank you for noticing. Once our hide was secured, we finally made some beds and were able to respawn in the same place if we ever died. Which, for the record, we died a lot. And one of the things I wanted to mention just real quick is that, unfortunately, some of my footage is going to be dark as shit because I had the wonderful idea of saying, hey, wow, if it's nighttime, it should actually be dark. That way it's more immersive and real. Oh, okay, perfect. And then I proceeded to mod the fuck out of the server with a bunch of other settings. You see, one of the things I pride myself on is being consistent. One of the mods that I am just never going to play without, and I think most people will agree with me, is the S+ Structures mod. It's a resource pack that allows all your structures to not be fucking retarded, but more importantly, it allows you to build a personal grave. Basically, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get fucked, you don't have to worry about losing everything you had on your body. Wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wait!
Run!
The bitch picked me up. Another important use is that it allows you to use beds to teleport across the map and just recover your things once you get there. And with how large these maps are, this saves a lot of time, but you do still have to set up a base first in order to put the gravestone down. But the next step for us was to get some metal. And fortunately for us, our base was situated right beneath a bunch of metal nodes. All we had to do was go up on the top of the hill to grab it. But that's a little easier said than done. You see, with all the dinos running around at 3 times the normal rate, our base felt like it was under attack all the time.
All right, distract it. I'm going down.
What? Why would you do that?
Because I was trying to draw it out for you.
Oh. The obvious answer here was to use boas to get up there safely. Alright, I got him.
There's one behind you.
Well, that's gay as fuck. Eventually, we were able to get up to the top of the mountain and get the metal. Now this made it a hell of a lot easier to get around because it unlocks having crossbow with grapples. Remember, the only thing we could tame was an Andrewsarchus, meaning that all the flyers are completely off the table. And those are the #1 form of transportation on a normal run. And no, I was not that thrilled about it because ARK can be stupid sometimes. Oh my god. Fucking game. No, I hit the Hyetodon. Fuck. Once we got our tame, all of that frustration very quickly dropped off. And for those of you wondering how we actually decided on the tame, here's how it happened. I guess at this point we need to decide what our dino is gonna be.
Right.
What's the dino? All right, the only thing I will say is off limits is like Rex.
What about the Andrewsarchus?
Ooh, they have like a whole spotlight video for it. Oh my god, you can have a saddle with miniguns on it.
What?
Oh my god, we should do this one.
Should we do that one? Okay.
All right.
I'm happy you like my pick.
And there you have it. I saw the minigun, boom, won me over, done. And really, it was just the minigun that won me over, because I had no idea all the other benefits that this thing came with. For example, if you're underwater, you can breathe forever. It's awesome. Not only that, but it also protects you from all the scary shit in the ocean, like eels, jellyfish, Mainly just those two. Those are some real bitch-ass creatures, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll knock you off your fucking mountain shit. Now it was just a matter of trying to tame it, but I did not understand how fucking annoying it was going to be to get it. For the presumably small amount of people that have not tamed this creature yet, let me tell you how to do it. On paper, it actually sounds pretty easy and fun. You feed it some honey, you hop on it, you ride it, you press A or D depending on which way it wants you to go, and you rinse and repeat until it's done. Yay, finished the tame. Now let's see how ARK makes it fucking impossible to do. So the first thing is that all the other dinosaurs also love honey. So when you throw a honey down for the Andrewsarchus, some other fucking dino will come and pick it up. Did you? You fucking fucko.
What?
No, not you. What? The next thing is the unit pathing. If for some reason the Andrewsarchus goes underwater, you'll start gradually losing all of its tame. And there's not a single thing you can do to change its direction. Oh, you're gonna go underwater? Is that what you're gonna do? Yeah? And the last thing is that if your dino gets hit, even one little love tap from a dillo, it will lose all of its tame right down to 0. It lost all of its tame. Keep in mind, I'm trying to beat all of the bosses on Alpha, so I have to have a super good dino. And what that means is taming a ton of them and crossbreeding them, then mutating. Long story short, I needed to tame about 15 of them. And I'll tell you, they got really fucking old. Oh, get off of each other. Yeah, okay, so with all that out of the way, I finally had all the dinos and I was ready to move on to the next step, which unfortunately involves a rather uncomfortable amount of, lots of ancestral breeding. Love. Lots of love to make the best dino in the game. But right at this moment, something terrible, something tragic, something awful happened when I tried to log into the server. Or rather, when Hannah tried to log in. Hannah tried to log in just now and her character didn't exist. So what we're gonna end up doing is that I'm going to go in, I'm gonna become the tribe leader, and then we'll go there. Yep. I don't know how it fucking happens, but every single time I run a map, invariably, there's going to be an issue somewhere along the run. And so, the only solution we had was to power level her up and get her back into the tribe. With that hiccup put to the side, we're ready to get back to the breeding. And it starts with making the first badass dino, to which I called the Godfather! This champ had a long path ahead of him, of spreading his seed to those who should not receive. May the Lord help him find his way back to the light. Amen. Yeah, he did not find his way back to the light. In fact, he's actually still sitting in my storage container right now. So let's move on. Although we wanted our army to be fully mutated, we still needed some dinos to get us through the map. So I gave Hannah a group of my finest men, and she called them the Elite Squad. The Elite Squad! They kill who I want! And I shouldn't let me use them because we get out. That's a lot of sharks. Oh. Oh. Oh.
I have a question. When are you gonna start giving me more that I can level up?
Oh, yeah, well, actually probably now. So I needed to make her some new ones. And instead of making another elite squad from base level dinos, I was about a quarter of the way through the mutation process, so I made a super elite squad for Hannah. Super elite squad! With our super elite squad all leveled up, we started taking them into battle. And oh man, were they murdering shit. For example, the first thing we did was world bosses. These guys were integral because whenever you killed them, they would drop some element. Not only that, but they'd also drop relics, which are items that were needed for the real bosses. And then of course they had blueprints, armor, saddles, weapons, blah blah blah. Now when it came to the world bosses, in the beginning we could only do Bela and the Twin Wolves. We couldn't handle Steinbjorn at first because he has damage reduction like a rock golem. Oh, well, I'm only doing 100 damage? What? And it does 150 to me? And this has how much health? 300k?
Where? Stop?
Yeah. Pick them all up. Apparently, people will just use a Giga to get around the damage reduction, but obviously we couldn't do that. As a result, we ended up grinding out the other two like 30 times in a row. Now, with how easily this squad was handling things, we decided to go after a real boss. And for some strange reason, we decided to go after the dragon first on the beta difficulty. But summoning the boss at beta difficulty required a few more materials, so we hit up all the caves and got all the artifacts. Holy cow, this looks cool. Damn. Oh yeah. I stretch around, and you start going in circles around it. Oh yeah.
Should we try sprint?
No.
I'd run right off the edge.
Then we had to hunt down some particular dinos for their specific drops. Come here, Yudi. Get fucked, bitch. With all of the materials in hand, we went into battle. Now this battle, I'll go ahead and say, it was kind of a weird one. The reason I say that is because it's actually not that hard. Like the boss itself is not difficult, but there's some stupid patches of lava that kind of make it hard to maneuver. Luckily, our dinos had enough health that it didn't really matter. Now, I looked on the internet, and supposedly we're supposed to get 58 element from this.
Oh, 220 element.
Oh my god, 220? So... Hey, wow, look at that. We both have a full set of tech gear. Yep.
I'm pretty now.
Yeah, I actually like that. That looks nice. Do you like my hair? Do you like my mustache? I am eating
When did you do that?
Yeah,
You know, I saw hair in the bin. I want a haircut. Where'd you put the scissors?
They're in the bin. And now we're gonna spend a minute talking about today's video sponsor, Hannah. Hannah's my sponsor. And as such, I am required to show the rest of the world her beautiful creations. So without further ado, her garden! When you first enter her honorable estate, you are greeted by, in her words,
the farm to table spread.
and she has gone above and beyond with this presentation. As you can see, she has crossed her I's and dotted her T's. She has set the table with pine cone. But let's not get too excited about the table. Remember, there's a bathroom too. Here's where you can see that Hannah really, truly cares. She made sure to include a divider so that nobody sees you taking a fat shit. Beside the toilet is a picture of the apex predator, the Rex. So every time you're taking a massive boom boom, you can think to yourself, what would Rex do? Next is a beautiful bathtub with wine next to it so you can enjoy a nice book in the evening. But if that's not your speed, don't worry. You can always study a nautical map while overlooking the pier. Oh, and she put a fridge in for holding shit. And of course, it's a great place to have crops. Thank you, Hannah. Unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. A wild Andrew Sarkis decided to exact its revenge on her table. But nevertheless, its memory lives on in all of us. Thank you. Shortly after beating the dragon boss, the mutation process was done. But first up, we had to give them names. Okay, this is Sonic the Hog. This one's yours.
Yay!
Call this guy Purple Nurple because he's not actually purple. With all of the important stuff handled, we moved on to the next phase of the plan, which is arguably the hardest part. We would have to collect the alpha trophies from all 3 bosses. And finally, after 77 in-game days, we were ready to take on the big boy. And we were doing so on alpha difficulty. In hindsight, it's a little silly we went to alpha first without even doing the boss fight, but we just kind of went balls to the wall and did it. But because we hadn't gone in there before, we didn't know it was cold as shit. And we didn't bring any gear to keep us warm enough, nor did we bring any medical brews. Oh my god, it is cold. Oh shit. Oh no, I knew this was gonna happen. Ah, fuck. Oh, I don't want to go do all those bosses again. Okay, we can do it. We can make it. We can make it. So we had to kill the boss before we died of being too cold.
I think I'm gonna make it, Ben.
Oh my god, we made it.
I made it to the end.
Thankfully, our dinos were souped up enough to the point that we killed it before we died of being too cold.
Good hustle, team.
Solid. So there you have it. Beating ARK Fjördur on alpha difficulty with only an Andrew Sarkis. Now, before I wrap things up, I do want to mention that we did find Hannah's old body, sitting with a long-forgotten dino, Big Papa.
Now, I'm gonna let Big Papa and Hannah Prime live their life out here on this island.
Yes, there were a few hiccups along the way, but ultimately, we put our minds to it and we got it done. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.